Counter-narrative news, continuing with our special series on Huey P. Newton, the founder and leader of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, founded in October 1966. We're going to share Executive Mandate number 1 from May the 2nd, 1967. This was delivered by Huey P. Newton as the Minister of Defense of the Black Panther Party at the State Capitol building in Sacramento in California. It was following the attempted introduction of a law which went onto the statute books around the issue of the right of citizens to carry firearms. And it followed immediately, really, that the Black Panther Party's presence on the street as armed black working class people confronting police brutality, etc. And so the bill wanted to make illegal the carrying of loaded firearms on one's person or in vehicles, and an ordinary citizens having a loaded firearm in or near the state capitol building or any other state or government building, restricted area, etc. So, to quote, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls upon the American people in general, and black people in particular, to take careful note of the racist California legislature now considering legislation aimed at keeping black people disarmed and powerless, while racist police agencies throughout the country intensify the terror, the brutality, murder and repression of black people. At the same time, that the American government is waging a racist war of genocide in Vietnam. The concentration camps in which Japanese Americans were interned during World War II are being renovated and expanded. Since America has historically reserved its most barbaric treatment for non-white people, we are forced to conclude that these concentration camps are being prepared for black people who are determined to gain their freedom by any means necessary. The enslavement of black people at the very founding of this country, the genocide practiced on the American Indians, and the confinement of the survivors on reservations, the savage lynching of thousands of black men and women, the dropping of atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and now the cowardly massacre in Vietnam, all testify to the fact that toward people of color, the racist power structure of America has but one policy: repression, genocide, terror, and the big stick. Black people have begged, prayed, petitioned and demonstrated, among other things, to get the racist power structure of America to right the wrongs which have historically been perpetrated against black people. All of these efforts have been answered by more repression, deceit and hypocrisy. As the aggression of the racist American government escalates in Vietnam, the police agencies of America escalate the repression of black people throughout the ghettos of America. Vicious police dogs, cattle prods, and increased patrols have become familiar sights in black communities. City Hall turns a deaf ear to the pleas of black people for relief from this increasing terror. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense believes that the time has come for black people to arm themselves against this terror before it is too late. The pending Mulford Act brings the hour of doom one step closer. A people who have suffered so much for so long at the hands of a racist society must draw the line somewhere. We believe that black communities of America must rise up as one man to halt the progression of a trend that leads inevitably to their total destruction. End of quote. So several themes here. First of all, armed black self-defense is a long-standing tradition of black people's resistance against European colonialism. So that's an intergenerational, centuries-long tradition, which the Black Panther Party are really, through the leadership of Huey Newton, are making explicitly clear that they are an armed self-defense revolutionary organization of the black working classes. So there's that theme of militant self-defense and being armed in that context, and then the state repression around that, including legislative attempts to make that impossible. So it really reflects how nervous the powers that be were around the work of the Black Panthers in this regards in the community. Also, the other major theme here is the internationalism, the anti-colonial militant socialist internationalism, in clearly understanding the role of Vietnam in terms of recruiting black working class people to kill another colonized people, which is wrong, to understand that the state increases and makes this oppression more sophisticated at the level of state repressive bodies globally and domestically, and the way it ties together that as Huey Newton mentions, the the concentration camps for Japanese people in the Second World War, he understands clearly that that will be used for other oppressed people, including black oppressed people as well, in the event that black people intensify their struggle going forward. And so, a really powerful piece. This is the executive mandate number 1. We will explore further the dynamics and the strategy and tactics of the Huey P. Newton leadership in the Panthers around the concept of armed self-defense, and then the tensions and the harmonies and everywhere in between that and then the radical socialist grassroots work of the Serve the People program, of that type of mass work. Many thanks.
Is this the pamphlet you're talking about? The pamphlet says that the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls on the American people in general to take careful note of the racist California legislature. Why do you believe the legislature is racist?
Don't you know? You're a part of it, and you're obviously, it's a white system. It's not obvious to see where we're at. So.
What do you mean?
We just read the pamphlet and you'll see what we mean.
You say to read your pamphlet. This is the pamphlet that the man presented me with. It's called A Statement of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense on the Mulford Act, now pending before the California legislature. The Mulford Act would control the use of arms, especially loaded weapons, and would prohibit them. These men seem to have loaded weapons with them.